Annyeong, it's Mikey here. Again, thank you guys so much that I just have to keep saying thank you. Again, like it's just something that I'm just so grateful that you guys are helping support this channel so much. Today's video is another one from Epomaker. It's the Epomaker X Aula 65% board. Now, it's a plastic board and it's supposed to be incredibly budget. So let's just get straight into the unboxing and take a look.
So let's start off with the unboxing of the F65 from Aula X Epomaker. And this is on New Year's Eve, guys, so happy New Year's and be safe when you're out there, and of course have a good time. Now this is with the Leobog Reaper switch, and as you guys saw, the cable was just your regular cheap cable. It's not a bad cable, but definitely is on the cheaper side for a cable. Now we're gonna check out the actual keyboard, and the design is pretty clean, I gotta admit. Sounds pretty decent too. I'm gonna just tap to right there with the USB dongle port right there. It's perfect. At least there's space for a USB dongle. But I mean, it is a cheap board. It is made out of plastic, but not bad plastic. So let's weigh this before we go into a sound test. And this weighs about 740 grams. So I noticed after that the keyboard was actually quite an angle. Not sure how I didn't notice that, but let's get this keyboard fully open. And as you can see, it's not too difficult actually. If you have the right tool, make sure you have one of these tools if you're going to be opening this. I think you can call them like an electronics plastic opener. I know that iFixit has a kit like this, so it's not difficult. Make sure you remove the USB dongle though before you do so, just because you don't want to break anything. I do like though that the switch there is actually not super thin. I know that the Vibe 75 and the Vibe 99 had too thin of like a switch there, so opening it up really did damage the board. Now, this comes with a pretty thick actually PCB foam and a decent foam in between the plate and the PCB. Also, you get a silicone on the bottom, so there is a little bit of space, but not too much actually. If you look right there, so a lot of times, this is kind of surprising. Something I really did like about this board is a lot of times silicone has this empty space because they're trying to put like a battery in there and they have this empty space that's sitting there. They actually put in a styrofoam underneath so that you don't actually have a crazy amount of foam underneath there, or I mean empty space there, so that you actually have a more filled sound, which is really great because that's something that really not a lot of companies do. So for a board at this price that is very supposed to be like super budget, this is definitely a very, very big plus. Now, I really don't like when the data cables are like that. It really makes it difficult to remove, and it also makes it really incredibly difficult to put back in. But luckily, I was able to get it out, but now my worry will later be how to get it back in there. But as you can see there, I'm just going to be trying to do a little bit of a sound test without any foam. So definitely not bad without any foam. I think in general this board has been built pretty well to sound really good. But of course, we're going to do a tape mod. Because I removed the foam on the back of the PCB, I'm just going to do one layer of tape, just one, and then put the foam back on. The reason I'm just doing one layer is because this keyboard already sounds pretty thocky and filled up like with foam. So we're just going to do one layer of tape, cover it up, and then put the foam back on. Of course, I think this board has a lot more room that you can actually do a modification on this board, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's really not necessary. Now I'm just going to have to put this back together, but as I said, I don't like how they did the data cable portion, just for the ribbon cable. It really makes it really difficult to put it back in. I don't like this kind of cable, like the connection. It really makes my life difficult. But to be fair, in terms of actual build, it is not bad for the most majority, because that means your cable is going to be really fit and in there and won't fall out. So there are pros and cons. It's just for me, as a person that has to take this apart, it does make my life difficult. And before we go into the sound test of the modded board, I wanted to tell you guys that I'm also going to be doing a sound test with two different switches that Epomaker sent me. So Epomaker sent me their new Bluebird switch, and they have also sent me their Flamingo switch. So we're going to try both switches in this board, lubed, to see how it sounds like compared to the Leobog Reaper switch that is fully lubed as well. So let me know down below in the comments which switch was your favorite. Now, this board is going to come with the Leobog Reaper switch. You also do have the choice of a Leobog Greywood and the Flamingo switch from Epomaker. Now, this Leobog Reaper switch, I'm okay with it. The sound is pretty decent. I don't like how the switch is though, because it's really difficult to open up. As you can see, like, it's just not able to be opened up with a regular switch opener. And I feel like it does get a bit sticky. Gonna be honest, it is a bit of a sticky switch. Though, at least you don't really get stem mobile, and it does sound pretty decent. I think the Flamingo switches are much better on this board though. I would suggest the Flamingo switches if you're gonna get this board. It just sounds a lot deeper. It does have a nicer sound. But of course, it's up to you what you think and which one you want to choose. Now, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the backlighting, right? Because this board has backlighting available. How is it? How is it pretty, like, is it pretty good in terms of the darkness and like how bright it is in the dark as well as not in the dark? I think it's actually pretty decent. It also has these little LED strips on the side too, where the light will shine through. So for a cheap board, this is not bad. Like you're getting something really cool for a very low price, or not a super low price. I mean, if you look at here on their website, as you can see, it's about $66 USD. It's not super cheap, right? It's not a super cheap board, but it is a budget plastic board that has a decent plastic build to it, and it has, you know, this really nice acoustic to it. I would have to say they did a great job in terms of making it sound really great, and yeah, you're getting a decent board for that price. Now, as I said, I would go with the Flamingo switches for this if I were you guys. Now, in terms of this software, do I think it's a good software? Not really. I mean, looks like a reskin of the Fecker software. I do like, though, that it comes with this command section. This command section is actually really nice because you can actually set up like task manager to a specific keybind, which is really nice in the fact that I think sometimes, you know, your computer might go through an issue like for Windows and it's hard to get to task manager, but you know, that is a really nice feature of the software, I gotta admit. Now, in terms of the lighting, you just get the basic lighting choices. This is just a really basic software. Like, it's really basic. I would say you're not getting something amazing, but you're just getting your bare minimum software. Now, of course, we're going to have to do a keyboard inspector tester. Just for the polling rate, we're getting about 500 hertz, so it's not the best for gaming. Like, if you're looking for, you know, currently now, I would say nowadays most boards are coming with 1,000 rate polling. This is getting about 500, so it's not the most accurate test, right, in terms of latency, but at least you are getting some kind of visual of what you're getting for this board. So, what are my thoughts? I would say, if you're looking for a budget board just for purposes of work, and you know, you're not looking for something that's like crazy expensive, but something that sounds really nice, could feel good to type on. You don't need a number pad. You don't need like your function key, like the F row. This is a board that you can definitely look into, right? Like, if you're looking for something that's mainly for just work, light to carry around, or yeah, just like I would say portable use keyboard, this could be one that you could look at. Would I say that this is a great board to grab for yourself? That depends again on your use case, right? Like, if you're looking for a gaming keyboard that has, you know, a good connection, it's kind of very low latency and everything, this wouldn't be that board, right? If you were looking for something that's heavy duty, you know, good quality build, this is not going to be that kind, because it's not an aluminum case. But if you're looking for a good quality or decent quality plastic build that sounds thocky and is for work purposes only or wireless use, this could be a board you can definitely look into. So take a look at it.
Now, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of this board, and would you get one? I mean, this is a 65% budget board, right? It's a plastic case. It's a pretty decent quality plastic. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the highest plastic quality, because like, let's say, for example, the Vibe was a better quality in terms of plastic. But this is good. I mean, this is a super budget build, right? Like, super budget keyboard at about $56 right now from what I saw on the website. So $56, and it's really thocky. So if you're looking for a thocky board, 65% that you can just use easily, like at work and such, you know, this is definitely something to take a look at, right? Like, it's a simple, easy to use board, comes straight out of the box, sounds good. Like, yeah, I would say if you're looking for something for purposes of work and you're just looking for something more affordable, it's still not like super cheap, right? But like, if you look on Amazon and you look for like wireless keyboards, they're going for like $30-$40. So might as well, instead of getting like a membrane board for like $40, look at a $55 mechanical keyboard that sounds slocky. That's my thoughts. But of course, each their own. And of course, if you don't want to spend the money and you want to save some money, definitely better to save money than just spend it on something and regret it. So I'll have to get you guys next time. So please go check out the other video I got. And I just thank you again